Welcome back to Our Hollywood. I'm Kim.
I'm Daniel.
And this episode is when your fave is problematic. It's problematic. And our guest today is Ceryna Baens. Hi, Ceryna.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you guys?
Well, good.
Daniel was trying to force me. Yeah, Daniel's feeling really in the Christmas spirit, and I'm just not there yet.
We only have like 3 Christmas episodes, so I was like, we're gonna wear Santa hats.
You're gonna wear Santa hats.
No, comment down below if Kim's gonna wear a Santa hat, and at least the Christmas one.
Okay, yeah, the Christmas one, sure. Okay. But it's still like early December. I'm just not feeling it that much.
No, my house is fully decked out in holiday.
So is my house. You should see the Christmas decor outside my house.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous.
I love Christmas. Anyway.
Just pretend like I'm wearing a Santa hat.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
We're on symbolically wearing Santa hats.
Okay. In our spirit.
Yeah. So, Ceryna, do you want to tell us a little bit about yourself and why you want to go into like the entertainment industry and kind of what you want to do that's in that vein?
Yeah, so throughout college, I interned for companies such as Warner Horizon, LeBron James's Spring Hill Entertainment, the Step Up franchise's Offspring Entertainment. And then actually the summer before my senior year, I edited for a YouTuber and I really loved it. And then since then, I have worked freelance for a company called Ridge Production. And with them, I help basically this guy is like this like free spirit that got sober when he was 21, and he's a TikToker who's like on the older side, and he just wants to share his message of sobriety and positivity. So I'm helping him actually create a reality TV show on his life, which is interesting and fun. But I also recently got a job in creative advertising, and with that I am basically just specializing in making ads for social media, and in particular Instagram, Snapchat, and Facebook. And that's been really fun, just like learning about the back end of advertising, because I think fashion has always been something I've also been interested in. So now I'm kind of in a job that's at the crossroads of both when it comes to advertising, fashion, and just like being able to express myself creatively. So I just love it. It makes me happy.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thank you so much for being here then, because you're a busy gal.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking the time out of your day.
And
of course.
Ceryna and I met in college. So like I actually don't know this. Why did you want to major in film and television? Like at our school? Well, I guess in general, in college.
Yeah. I mean, I have always loved the entertainment industry. I mean, I have been a fangirl since day one. Like I loved, that's why I had chose this topic, because I feel like I can speak to such a fangirl perspective, and as someone that also has worked in the industry. I loved Justin Bieber. I would make videos for him all the time when I was younger, and that actually turned into what I do now, essentially. But I mean, I think that this is something that, of course, like, I think, Kim, you and I have talked about this, like, as an Asian American, I feel like representation is something that has always lacked or been lacking in the media. And I think that as someone that has gone to college, I feel like I'm in a position of power now where I just want to be able to help bring a voice to people that don't necessarily have one or aren't necessarily represented. And so with this, like, for example, with this new job, I just think that it'd be cool to just see more people that look like normal people, like, out there, and whether it be in film, whether it be in ads, whether it be in TV. And I think that's just something I just really want to be a part of.
Cool. That's such a good answer. It's because sometimes I'm like,
thank you.
Like, I don't know what I would answer to that question. I feel like I would just try to be funny. That's like where I would go, but that was a really good answer. I was like, wow, okay.
I feel like I'm like overthinking like everything, so that makes me feel good, just because like Zoom, like having a Zoom conversation about this, like I keep looking at myself and I feel like I'm on The Bachelor, and I'm just like like Ceryna, 22, wants to change the world.
In the little corner. That's so funny.
So just funny.
Well, I think how you were saying, like how fan culture kind of got you into this business a little bit, I think that's super interesting because a lot of like stans, I guess you would call them, like they're really good at a lot of like editing, like
fan cams.
Yeah, like
fan
that.
Cams.
Like I'm like, how do you do that? Like all this like technological digital stuff they're really good at, and like social media especially, because that's literally where all of the fan culture like resides now. So I think we're probably going to see a lot more people that kind of want to get into the field because of stuff like that.
I mean, I used to tweet Justin Bieber, like I would write out intense like breakdowns of music video ideas. I would do it shot by shot, lyric to lyric, and then I remember his director said, "Wow, you should be a director for show one day," and I said yes. I said never say never. And then
my God.
but my I mean, like with YouTube and everything, I remember when I had a Twitter account called Project OLLG to be Justin Bieber's One Less Lonely Girl. I made the most dramatic video to A Drop in the Ocean by Ron Pope, and you best believe, I don't know if I can cuss on this show.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, okay. I was like, you best believe that shit got the attention of Justin Bieber's team, and my ass met him. I was this one less lonely girl, and you know what? It's gotten me to where I am today. I use it as my college essay. I like.
Oh my God.
But
it's so funny. It's so funny because I remember I was also a stan online at the same time, and I remember seeing your video like on Twitter. And
Kim was like a can I say that?
I was like anything that had to do with YouTubers, MagCon, yeah.
I was like, wait, can I expose?
Yeah, no, please expose me. I'm about to expose myself on my TikTok about meeting Cameron Dallas like 5 times.
Okay.
Stop. I met them too. No, because they were in San Francisco. They were standing in Union Square. I will never forget this. They were standing in Union Square. MagCon was in town, and I knew. I was like, I'm gonna meet them somehow. It was Valentine's Day. I was a sophomore in high school, and we were in the car, and I see Nash and Cameron standing on the street corner. My ass literally said, "Mom and Dad, I'm getting out of the car," and they said. And I said, goodbye. I jumped out of the car in traffic in San Francisco, casually walked into an H&M men's, and I pretended like I was looking at the clothes, and I was just like stroking like the different sweaters on display. And then I walked up and I was like, oh, are you? And then that's how I met Nash and Cameron.
Oh, you're pulling a ladybird in the middle of traffic.
No, that's so funny. I have a similar story because like they were in San Diego, right? My parents, we were gonna go on a hike, and I was so mad because I was like, I want to stand at the hotel all fucking day, like you bitches.
As one does.
Yeah, and so I was like throwing a fucking temper tantrum because I was like, I was a teenager girl that just wanted male attention,
right?
And then nothing has changed. And then we go to Seaport Village, and they're at like the Hilton, which is like a good stretch. There's a whole convention center in the middle of that, in the San Diego Convention Center. And that's long. So my parents dropped me off at the Seaport Village, and I run all the way from Seaport Village to the Hilton.
That's like a mile.
Yeah, and I didn't stop. And mind you, I'm one of those girls that walk the mile.
That was your fastest all time?
Yeah. No, literally, I like ran so hard. I literally walked the mile in high school. I would be that girl that everyone would be waiting on. And then I literally I ran there. But then I remember I walked because they were playing football outside. And then I
Wait,
walked.
how did you know they were there?
Because it was MagCon was happening at the hotel. Yeah.
Okay.
And I was going day 2, but I just wanted to like be there.
Yeah.
And experience it. And then like they're playing football, and we were all just watching them shirtlessly playing football. Like, what a dream for like a 12, 13-year-old girl. And then I started walking out because I saw that they were about to leave. And then like I feel like somebody really like literally like right next to me on me, and I was like literally
you were ready to fight.
I was like, oh my God. And then I look, it's Jack Galinsky. And I was like,
You're like, do it again.
I know. I was like, never mind.
Wait, who?
Jack Galinsky. Jack and Jack. He's like the hottest one out of all of them.
I have no idea who you're
right?
talking
I
about.
would say
He's also problematic too, though.
He's problematic.
Which
okay, never mind. He pretends
Yeah.
to be shocked. I'm not even.
I know. You're like.
that was such a good segue.
No,
because
honestly,
I know,
yeah,
I was-
a lot of those
yeah.
MadCon boys are problematic.
wait, who and why?
I mean, yeah.
Who and
Just
why?
quickly, like a quick recap.
Cameron Dallas, Nash Greer,
But, like,
like
for what did
literally
they
all of
do?
them. Well, Nash Greer is better now because he's like in
Got
a
cut.
Is he the one that
relationship.
joined the
Father.
cult? Oh no, that's a different one.
Oh my
Is
god.
that MadCon?
He joined a cult.
The one that was like gay before, but then suddenly he's like, I
That's
love
Lil
Jesus.
Anthony.
No, that's
Was
Lil
he in MadCon?
Anthony.
I think he was actually at one point. No, he wasn't. I don't know.
It makes me so sad that Lil Anthony. I mean, if he's happy, I guess, but like.
Yeah. Well,
The videos are scary.
I think
know.
Nash, just like when they were at their peak, remember when he was like, shave, wash your hair,
Oh,
shave.
I
It was
remember
like
that.
body hair, ugh.
He's like,
But
"Hey."
now his wife, or not wife, his fiance or whatever, she's like super awesome. I love her.
I don't know why I thought you were gonna say super hairy.
She's
Character
very much,
development.
no, she's very much a person that like.
Okay, cool.
Like I remember when they first started dating, I was very confused because I'm like, she
so
she
he
does
got
not care.
He got a character
Mhm.
arc.
Yeah, he got it. He grew
Yeah.
it, and they have a
Okay.
cute baby now. Cameron actually was an addict. Yeah, he was an addict to something. I don't know exactly what, but I remember he like called somebody a gay slur, and like Taylor Kniff, big boobs, nice vagina. Like that was like at the peak. He literally he would always have videos like of him saying really messed up things about girls, and then he was like, I know it was like a kind of like a joke, but it was still like. He's like, I like a girl that has a big boobs and nice vagina. Like that's just really weird. Yeah, I don't know what
weird.
any of them are doing them anymore besides Shawn Mendes. Let's not forget Shawn Mendes was
Was he
MadCon
there?
boy.
Which is
You guys
so
meet him?
weird. No, I wish.
No,
I
no.
wish.
he didn't show up to MadCon San Diego, and they didn't say that beforehand. They announced it at the event, like, oh,
As
he's not
they-
coming.
Well, that's smart because imagine the outrage if they had announced
Oh
it.
yeah, and then they just threw up this video that was like, it was Sean being like, "Hey guys, sorry I can't
Oh
be
my God.
here. Here's a little song."
Oh my
It
god.
was a little song.
The thing is, if Shawn Mendes was at that H&M in like 2000 and whatever, I think that, I could have been Camilla. I'm not as talented.
As you should. As you should.
And we
But,
would
you
take
know-
you. We would accept you over Camilla.
We would. Well, okay. Anyway, before we get away from the really good segue that we had, so today's topic is about, well, it's a little bit broader.
That was the most lighthearted way to transition into this.
Well, because it
big
has to
topic.
be. I
Yeah.
had to wear a Santa hat because I was
Yeah.
like, this is going to get rough. So today's, we have kind of two different sections to this topic, but the general idea is what happens when someone that you admire, someone that you're a huge fan of, someone that you look up to, is horrible, and they get exposed, but not just being a little bit horrible, like a lot horrible.
Yeah.
I-
Not like they were mean to their fans one day.
Yeah.
Like,
Not like they were angry one day and they were like, I don't want a picture. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
So the two different sort of situations, which there's plenty, but the ones that we wanted to talk about today is when your fave turns out to be a sexual predator, which has been happening a lot. And then the second one is kind of a bit more general, just when your fave gets canceled for being terrible and a piece of trash. But before we get into that, we did want to issue a trigger warning because we are going to be talking about sexual assault and a little bit about domestic violence. So if anyone doesn't want to hear that, come back next week. Hopefully it will be more lighthearted. What?
I was trying to think about what our topic was for next week, but I don't even remember.
Yeah, I don't remember either.
Okay.
It's finals week. And then also our YouTube channel just launched. So if you go on YouTube and search our Hollywood podcast, you can watch the first 7 episodes fully with video of us being
And no
confused.
ads because we're not monetized.
Nope. So
Right?
yeah,
we're
people
not.
who are visual learners, go check that out. You can see Kim and I's outfits. Because
Yeah.
we honestly think about it.
I do. I think about outfits constantly.
Yeah, but also during the Halloween ones, I was like, okay, I'm gonna wear a shirt that
Yeah, correlates.
yeah. Anyway, do you want to start off the
I love it.
What this?
yeah. Start there.
Sorry, this is not funny.
No. Sorry.
Oh,
yeah, by the way,
I didn't write that. You
What?
wrote that? No.
Oh no, I just meant if you want to introduce the topic. Well, I just want to say
okay.
if we laugh at anything, we're not trying to make fun of it. It's just when
It's a
we get
defense mechanism. I try to make things
Yeah.
funny when I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah, me too. And
I
I think
think
we
as
have
we
to
all
because
do.
this one is hard.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can talk about that a little bit later. Go into Baby Driver.
Okay, well, Baby Driver was a hard pill to swallow because I absolutely think that movie is like one of the best movies that's come out recently ever. But I just think I'm just so far up Edgar Wright's ass.
We went to go see him at the Egyptian Theater.
Yeah, well, Edgar Wright's not the problem.
No, we could stand him. Who else was there? It was just him.
It was just him and the other guy that directed The Driver.
Oh, yeah.
Whatever
The
movie
Driver.
inspired
That was a good movie.
it. That was a good movie.
Which we
I'm
did
so
not.
sorry to that man.
Yeah.
He's like literally an iconic director and I don't remember his name because I'm so obsessed with Edgar Wright. But yeah, I really love Edgar Wright. And
Baby Driver
in general. And I was a very big Ansel Elgort stan because The Fault in Our Stars, like that was like peak movie to or book to movie adaptations. And we were
that really was like teen book to movie adaptations.
Yeah, I remember when I found out Ansel Elgort was casted as Augustus, right? That's his name? Yeah. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, absolutely not. This is not Augustus Waters. I was pissed. But then when I saw the movie, I was like, ooh. I was like, I was like, so cute. But if you give any relatively attractive boy those words of dialogue, and they can mildly deliver it, any 12-year-old girl is gonna be like, yeah, tell me I'm wrong.
It's like, okay. Okay.
It's a metaphor.
I hate it. Okay, so but funny. My one critique. No 16-year-old talks that way.
No.
It's it's my Harmarsha. I was like, what the? I had to Google it. I was like, your fatal flaw. I was like, I don't know, but
it's like one of those ones where you pretend to know what's going on, and then but then you have to like actually Google it. Anyways, back to Baby Driver. That was just prepping you for how I guess like I felt about this allegation coming out. It totally, absolutely shattered my world for like a couple days, to be honest, because I was so Baby Driver, also anticipating West Side Story because that's still gonna come out, and I love West Side Story because I love any Shakespeare adaptation. Literally,
I just love a good musical.
Yes, we have a whole episode dedicated to musicals. So yes, so basically, Ansel Elgort was accused of sexual assault. He was in a relationship with a 17-year-old when he was like 20, and I guess they broke up. And I guess it happened during the relationship, but he was upset. Wait, what happened?
No, it was the first time. Okay, take everything we say, guys, with a grain of salt, because this is what I remember reading, but I might have mixed a few things up. But from what I remember, it was like she was like a fan of him, and he invited her to his hotel room and sexually assaulted her, but like she didn't realize what it was yet or something, and then later they were dating right there, but he didn't see it as dating or something, and so he like tried to spin it as like, oh, she's crazy and obsessive, but you know,
oh my God, I feel like so many celebrities, like young celebrity men, do that. Like they totally abuse like their power that they have over these girls that literally idolize them.
Which is
what
goes on in your brain.
I feel like that's all, or not all. That's a really broad statement, but I feel like a lot of celebrities or just people in positions of power just do that because, I mean, if you think about it, like, I don't know, like, can you, like, for example, with this girl, like, she was a big fan of his, and finally getting the opportunity to meet someone that you've been idolizing for years, you're not going to ever think that someone that you idolize and have loved can ever put you in such a compromising position. And so, I mean, especially when you're young, like 17, you're not old enough to make any informed decisions or understand what's going on, essentially. Like,
even though you think you do, even though you really think you do, you really think you have a grip on it.
I mean, I'm 22, and like I feel like I always have moments where I feel like I'm a grown-ass woman, and then I get knocked down a peg, and I'm like, oh shit, like I think we're still so young, especially at this age. So it's so weird, especially when talking about a topic like this, when a lot of the times a lot of celebrities lean in on the fact that, oh, they were close to 18, or oh, they were 18. But it's like, you're still a baby at that point. Like, I still am learning about the world. I still know nothing. Like, let's be real.
Yeah,
that's true. Like, I don't understand insurance. Well, I'm just saying, like, I should by now. Yeah, like I should by now.
I'm like really scared for tax season because I'm like I'm actually an adult, like out of college. I think I need to learn how to do taxes. Anyways, yeah, back to that. I guess like when did this happen? Like
during quarantine.
This year, right?
Well, no, not the like he got it like outed during. That's not the right word.
June.
He got
June 2020.
Exposed during quarantine.
Yeah, I got exposed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The story broke.
Yeah,
there you go.
Which that was like during those like 2 months on Twitter where like rapists were just being exposed left and right. Do you remember that?
No, I don't actually.
Yeah.
It was like it wasn't just like celebrities, it was like people from our school.
Oh, yes, I do remember that. I remember vividly like people from like our high school, like everybody was just like exposing. And I think it was just kind of like an open secret at our high school.
What?
To be honest, like that men did that to women.
I had no idea.
Well, I guess being a girl, like I would hear about it more.
Okay.
I would hear about like they would always make jokes like the sophomore slayers, like they'd be senior boys, but
oh no.
Yeah. Yeah, and like in high school I was just like, that's weird, but like I didn't think about it because also I was like I'm still fat, but like
Stop.
No, but no one wants to date. Like,
okay,
no one wants
to. We're not doing this. We're not doing.
No, but it's true. Like I don't have to worry about it as much. Anyways, that was just me.
Well, no, what I was saying was that like during that era. Well, okay, I'm glad that it gave other people the confidence to be. They're like, well, everyone is doing it, so I feel like now is the time that I can also speak up.
Which is great.
It's great because it was like inspiring other people to be able to come out with their stories, which I'm so glad that they were finally able to tell the truth, especially with people like in our community. Because I don't know if that would have happened if other people hadn't spoken up. You know, if something scary is like happening to you, it's better to feel like you're with another group of people.
There's power in numbers for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
100%.
But with the Ansel Elgort thing, that I don't even remember like where I saw it. I think it's so the girl posted like a notes.
I saw it immediately.
Really?
Yeah.
What did he even say in response? I don't even think I ever saw.
He was just like, he basically tried to be like, oh, I am sorry. He was just like, I'm sorry, like that's not how I read the situation.
Oh my God.
But
we were in a relationship that whole long.
It's because he literally couldn't deny it because she had pictures, she had text messages. Like this wasn't just her saying something. It was like literally.
Here, this is his response.
Okay.
I was distressed to see the social media posts about me that have been circulating for the past 24 hours. Mind you, he even took a sweet time to respond, like a whole ass day.
Yeah, but I feel like there's celebrities who respond like weeks later.
I know, but like that's crazy to me.
No, it is.
Like,
but it's because his PR team was probably like, we are gonna read before you are allowed to say anything.
I guess. Also, enough with this.
Not defending. Me defending him, not like that, but I just
enough with these notes apologies. I'm tired of seeing it. Anyway, I cannot claim to understand Gabby's feelings, but her descriptions of the events is simply not what happened. Completely dismissing how she felt. I have never and would never assault anyone. What is true is that in New York in 2014, when I was 28, Gabby and I had a brief legal and entirely consensual relationship. Unfortunately, I did not handle the breakup well. I stopped responding to her, which is an immature and cruel thing to do to someone. I know this belated apology does not absolve me of my unacceptable behavior when I disappeared. As I look back at my attitude, I'm disgusted and deeply ashamed of the way I acted. I'm truly sorry. I know I must continue to reflect, learn, and work to grow empathy, which is like, that totally absolutely cancels out the first half of his statement where he basically just completely denied her feelings.
Yeah.
Or what she felt like in the relationship or whatever that situation was.
Well, I think
he discredited her.
Yeah, I think that a lot of time these men are like, they try to paint the victim as this whole crazy ex-girlfriend, essentially. And they're like, they... like he literally says like, oh, it's because I was like, I didn't give her a good breakup and so it's my fault that but like that's not like, he didn't actually mention anything.
No,
he was like skirting around it.
It's literally like not even a real paragraph. Like that would not even cut as a paragraph in like a college essay.
No, and the last
MLA format.
No, not at all. No. The last part means nothing.
I believe that the girl that is his co-star in West Side Story changed her Instagram bio to something like "Believe Survivors" when the allegations did come out, because I mean, it's crazy because the specific 2 weeks that you're talking about when everyone was kind of getting canceled, like quote unquote canceled in June, I distinctly remember the Ansel Elgort stuff was the first to come out. And then after that, Cole Sprouse, there was allegations, and then Justin Bieber was quick to nip it in the bud. And then Cole Sprouse, I think he talked about it a little bit, but it was just like so much all at once, like to take in, just because, especially as someone that is so immersed in, I mean, pop culture, it's hard seeing people that, I think it's crazy because you just like are reminded that these are actors. They're, they could be heroes, but they're also people that can be absolutely horrible. And like, I think that going back what you said earlier, like I was definitely someone that was empowered during those few weeks and everyone was coming forward. And I actually came forward about my own experiences with sexual assault on social media. And like, I think having dealt with stuff like this firsthand, you're right. Like people do spin the story so much to frame women as crazy when they're just speaking their honest truth. And I think that it's just crazy reading all the articles, of course, like preparing for the show, just because everything that people or all these celebrities said to discredit their victims, it's stuff that I've heard along the way as well. So it's just one of those things that there obviously just needs to be some sort of change, and where that starts is kind of just calling people out on their shit.
Yeah.
I think like a big thing that you see in like celebrity apologies, like there's like kind of like a lack of accountability for their actions. Like I feel like they're so quick. I think maybe like PR teams, I have no idea. I've never worked for a celebrity PR thing. I've only took classes like on how to deal with it. But like I just think what I think PR teams and like celebrities think is like the less information you give them, the better, so they can't like come to conclusions. But I feel like no, like I think you need to just be as transparent as possible. If that's fucking 10 pages on your notes app, like you need to do that, because it just seems so dismissive and you're not letting people in. Like that's such a shitty thing to like. If I ever made somebody feel like that, if I was like Ansel Elgort in the situation, and I ever like had a relationship with somebody and that happened, like, and you actually grew as a person, I don't know. That's just, I don't know. I can't put myself in those shoes because I've never done that.
Right.
But
it's just, I think the main thing with all like this, I think honestly, a little bit more of the ones that we're going to talk about do the exact same thing. There's like a format where it's like, this is what happened. Except that's not what happened, guys. Then also, I'm still sorry.
No, literally.
But it's not what happened. And I'm like, okay, well then.
They're like, I'm sorry this happened, but it didn't happen that way. But I'm so sorry, and I will work on myself.
I will be a better person.
Yeah.
And then they have a new movie out in 3 months.
No, literally. And it's just like, I don't know, like, I don't know. I think for me, everybody wants something different. I feel like just showing accountability, like showing what you've done to grow as a better person. Like not like being blatantly like, see guys, like look what I'm doing, like blah, blah, blah. But like, I feel like just, I don't know, how do you do it? How do you like really come back from a situation like that?
I mean,
like a sexual assault, like.
I think an issue with these like celebrity statements is it's like the stereotypical someone saying, I'm sorry that made you feel this way, not I'm sorry that I did this. And I think that that's just like the number one common thread throughout all the people we're going to be talking about is, oh, I'm sorry that situation made you feel that way. But it's not, I'm sorry that I put you in that situation and I did X, Y, and Z.
Absolutely.
And so there's just such a big distinction that I feel like, of course, celebrities want to save their butts, save their images, but I think they kind of dig themselves deeper in a hole.
Yeah.
Literally.
But also just don't be a shitty person.
Yeah.
And like.
Yeah, don't fucking do that.
Yeah.
Oh,
but don't.
Which gets us to
it's common sense.
Literally, I don't understand why it's so hard for people to understand to not do bad things.
Yeah. I also think like because I don't know, I just reread my little paper on masculinity that I did last year, and it's just like I like the way that men have like feel like they have to perform in society also I think affects it. And I think right now we're in like a really big shift, like not really big, but like we're getting to a place where like gender expression can be more fluid and not as rigid, and men can perform in their gender identity, or women can perform in gender identity, but non-binary people, like anybody can perform or express that femininity, masculinity, like in any sort of way they want to, you know what I mean? But basically men feel like they have to not show emotion. They feel like they have to be the dominant ones in the situation at all times, and if they lose that control, then they are not masculine. And I feel like a lot of these people like take that way too close to heart, because especially when you take that and then add being a celebrity and add like having this notion that you can get anybody, anytime, anywhere, any place you want, which is not the case. Just because you're a celebrity does not make you better than anybody. Absolutely not. And I think it like, that it can be hypocritical of like people that like fan culture to say that, but like I can like Harry Styles but still understand like he's not going to be like a great person all the person at a time. Like, you know what I mean? And I think we just have to have more conversations about it. Like, you're like, I don't even know how to like. It's such a big issue that like I don't think one conversation is gonna. Like,
I think it's also because it's like out of our like we can't make people stop doing things.
Yeah, exactly.
So like I don't even know, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I was just going to say, I mean, it's kind of a cycle of entitlement, and also a cycle of, for the longest time, a lot of celebrities were watching other celebrities get away with doing horrible things behind closed doors. And I think that's why when you see older male celebrities, for example, saying like, this is just what you do. Like, this is a part of how you get this role. This is a part of the industry. It's like, I don't know. It's just a bunch of people that just were emboldened by each other, and they thought it was okay, even though that they knew that it wasn't. But it's just like, it just is so rooted in entitlement and just watching other people get away with bad shit. So it's like they think that, I don't know, they think that they're God and that they can get away with it too.
Literally. I think it's also because like the world that these older celebrities grew up in is not our world at all.
Especially like the next person we're gonna talk about, Kevin Spacey.
Yeah.
Prime example of that.
Yeah. We're sticking to our Baby Driver theme.
It's so hard to watch that movie now. I haven't seen it
since.
Yeah, I haven't been able to watch it since. I used to watch that like almost every month, and then when June 2020 came, I was like, I can't even.
Anyway, so Kevin Spacey, I don't remember exactly. I believe it was sexual assault as well. But the main, there's a lot of issues, but the big like thing that people were mad at him about, obviously the sexual assault, was that he essentially used his statement, which was essentially his form of an apology, which was not really an apology, but he used it to come out. And people were so mad about this because
super manipulative.
It's literally gaslighting, number one. And number two, he was like furthering this like stigma, this dangerous and wrong stereotype that like LGBTQ people are pedophiles, and that pedophiles are part of the LGBTQ thing. Oh my God, sorry, I forgot what the word was, but that's like a stereotype that has been super dangerous throughout the years. Like back in me forgetting how to speak because I'm so mad. But so essentially what people were mad about is that he used him coming out to hide behind what he did. And that is literally so dangerous. That's why
such a shitty thing. Like, you're a shitty person, Kevin Spacey. Fuck you. I'm so glad that I'm never gonna have to see your fucking face in any movie.
Yeah, it's just like it's so, because what he did, it's like he did it so that he could be like, oh well, it's because, oh my God, I'm so sorry, but it's because I'm like, that's what he was saying essentially.
Yeah.
But now he just put all LGBTQ people
because he was
in
like, I've been closeted like my whole life.
Yeah, he was blaming it on that.
Yeah,
like,
no.
Sir, look at all these people who didn't rape people. Like, what are you doing? I don't know.
Especially because like one of the people he did assault was Anthony Rapp.
Who was a minor, right?
I think he was a minor at the time.
He was really young, I think.
Yeah, he was really young, and it's like another abuse of power. Like, he was an older man that was successful in the entertainment industry, saw this young man that was like, you know, Anthony Rapp wasn't as popular at the time. Mm-hmm. Anthony Rapp is like most famous for Rent. Mm-hmm. If you don't know who that is. And he's really big on Broadway in general. But yeah, so he was one of the people that came out about it. And it's just an abuse of power. Like, he saw this person that, and I feel like that's like the casting couch. It goes back to all that stuff. Like, it's just like, that's what you have to do to make it. You gotta just suck some dick and, you know, like, move on with your life. No, but like, that's how it is. But that's how they make it seem. But no, you should not have to do anything if you're not comfortable to attain fame. That fucking sucks. Yeah. And I'm glad that we're like in a time that, I mean, it's still not anywhere near where it should be, but because people are still getting like passes depending on how rich they are.
No, literally.
But I think, I don't know, like, it's just really gross, and it makes me so angry to see people abuse their power like that.
Yeah, like, it's so upsetting. I think especially because like a lot of the time the people that they're doing this to, like in this case, they were famous, the victims or the survivors, I guess. But a lot of times it's young actors and actresses that are not famous yet, so they will not.
They will never be able to like be taken seriously.
Exactly, because it's like they would have to go up against this super famous and powerful person that has like millions of people who support them and love them, which is literally terrifying.
Yeah, you never know what the response is going to be when you're coming out against like a quote unquote powerhouse celebrity.
Yeah.
Like, people could easily dismiss you as like a clout chaser, especially now. Which is like, why would you want to put your like literal trauma on display for like clout? Like, doesn't make any sense for me.
Yeah.
Like, you should believe survivors. Absolutely. Period. Point blank period, you should believe survivors. Yeah. And it's so upset. I don't know. Kevin Spacey just makes me pissed off. Like, but I'm glad that he was pretty much immediately removed from the spotlight.
They were goodbye.
Yeah, they were like, bye, delete. delete. He got rid of like House of Cards. Like, that was like his show that was really big on, and like completely pulled him off. And I don't know.
He made his.
Go ahead.
He made his own short or something. Just like, he was like, "I'm back." Like, did you ever see that?
No. Wait. What do you mean? Like a short film?
He like, it was like, I don't know if he like self-produced it or what, but like, he released a video after like a year or so of being out of the limelight, and he was like, "I'm back." And it's like, no, you're not. No. We didn't let you back in. We did not accept you back in.
Yeah.
But not just him. I feel like a lot of other celebrities have tried doing that. Like Louis C.K. He tried.
I was literally about to ask. I was about to say something.
Tried coming back. People were like, "No,
literally,
absolutely not." And also, someone else. Was it Woody Allen? It might have been.
Well, I don't know. Woody Allen's been through like phases of canceling, but I think now finally he's out of them. He's finally out. Like, get him out of here, finally. I don't know. I feel like that happens to a lot of people. Like, they get called out, and then especially like older celebrities, I feel like this is a trend. Mm-hmm. They try to be like, well, like, no, I'm back. Like, they try to like hide away for a couple months and then come back and be like, never mind, I'm back. Like, accept me.
I don't think they understand being the cancel. Like, I don't think that they get the point. Like once we know, we're not going to forget that you did these things. Like, it's only
hold people accountable, like, especially. Yes. Like, and I feel like I think at the beginning of like the Me Too movement and the Time's Out movement, people were like kind of like, well, how far can we go with this? Can we still like use these celebrities like in our movies? Like, can we still cast them and stuff? And
No,
you can't.
In conclusion, no.
In conclusion, it's so much easier to like find out that information. Like, they have that whole website, Rotten Apples, where you can literally look up any celebrity and see.
Yeah, so we put this on our Instagram, at our.hollywood, if anyone wants to check it out. But there's this website called the Rotten Apples, and essentially it's kind of like a search engine, but you put in a movie and it'll tell you if any person involved in the cast or crew of that movie has sexual assault allegations or like charges against them. So it'll tell you like rotten apple or clean apples or
Literally, I
whatever.
found out that Robert De Niro had sexual assault
I
allegations.
didn't know that
I
either.
had no idea.
No way.
But he still gets hella work.
Yeah.
But that's single-handedly because of Martin Scorsese.
Yeah. No, but yeah, it is.
It's like,
And it's also like scary that powerful men will defend these other powerful men. They're like,
Yeah.
well, he was never mean to me, and I'm like, hey, Martin, nobody asked
Can
you.
we move to Woody Allen?
Yeah, let's talk about that one
instead of
since we're moving to
because
directors.
That one, Woody Allen has had so like his like since the 90s. No, like it's been forever that he's been doing really fucking sus things. And he, first of all, Woody Allen, director. Anyways, the biggest thing people know him for is that he divorced his wife and ended up marrying his adopted daughter. You didn't know that?
No.
You didn't know that?
I don't know anything about.
What? Yeah, that's like the biggest thing.
I read Daily Mail every day. Of course, I know it. I'm like, you tell him.
Well, they adopted her when she was a child. So,
oh my god, that's so disgusting.
Yeah, they adopted her when she was a child, and then he ended up like when she got like a little bit older, like to a quote unquote reasonable age.
How is that not
him,
immediately like a red flag for the entire Hollywood?
Because I think when that was like one of the first, I think that's probably one of the first really sus things. Well, I don't know. No, it was definitely more accepted to date when you're like a 50-year-old man to date like somebody in their like late teens or 20s.
Yeah, if you look at the celebrities, all of them, all their wives were super young when they first met.
Which is
Elvis and Priscilla.
Exactly. I was like, Elvis.
I'm still gonna watch that movie though.
There's an Elvis movie?
Yeah, with Austin Butler's gonna come out with Baz Luhrmann.
Oh, right.
I love a Baz Luhrmann film. I had to look up Baz Luhrmann. Maybe that will be retracted. Anyways, so that happened. That was like the first thing that happened. And then his adopted daughter, Dylan Farrow, came out that she was molested by Woody Allen. She originally said this, mind you, the first time she ever accused him of this was when she was 7. And that was in 1992. And nobody took her seriously.
Oh my God.
And then she came out again in 2014 in another article and said something about it again. Still, he was still able to make movies. And then she came out again in, I think, 2017 in the LA Times and wrote about it one last time because that was like when the Me Too movement was happening. And she was like, so is Woody Allen absolved from this?
She's like, so are we doing this now? Or
how, like, the fact that she was powerful enough at 7 years old to come out about it and nobody
ever listens to children, which is so bad.
It's so sad. So sad. So Woody, like Dylan Farrow, one of his another adopted daughters, like how disgusting is that?
Oh wait, the one he married is
the different one.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
He should not be allowed to adopt children.
So gross.
Why did they? Oh my God.
Well, no one took it seriously when she was 7, but still people continued to work with him. Well, I guess at the second time, like in the 2017 or between 2014 and 2017, one of the ones, he was shooting A Rainy Day in New York or something like that.
Did that ever come out? No, right?
No, it just came out. But nobody watched it because everyone's like, fuck that fool.
I didn't even know it. I just thought
I didn't even know it dropped.
They just drop it and like it's just there. Like
where's it on?
I don't think anybody's gonna put it on a streaming platform.
HBO Max.
HBO Max wants it.
But you can see it somewhere.
Oh yeah, it's out. It has a 45% on Rotten Tomatoes. Is this almost Celine? Yeah.
Yeah, Selena Gomez. Anyways, so Selena Gomez and Timothée Chalamet. This was like I think it was like a romantic movie about them, and then Dylan Farrow came out with the op-ed, I'm pretty sure, and then Timothée Chalamet and Selena. I think they had already wrapped filming, and they were like, "Yeah, no, absolutely not. Don't want to be part of this." And I think it's interesting to not compare, but like see how different celebrities react to it. So like Timothée Chalamet immediately came out on Instagram and basically first of all, Timothée Chalamet wasn't as big as he was when this happened. He was still like a baby in the industry. He hadn't had many roles. I don't even think I think Call Me by Your Name just came out, but he did already finish filming this movie. Because I remember I was on Timothée Chalamet train like a really long time. I've been on this train for a while. And he basically said he had a really good statement, to be honest. And he basically, you can read it if you literally Google Timothée Chalamet response to Woody Allen. Like it'll pop up on the pictures. But he basically donated his entire salary to 3 different charities. He donated it to Time's Up, the LGBT Center in New York, and RAIN, which I think is that's like the only thing you can do, pretty much.
Yeah.
At that time. And then I think Selena Gomez did the same thing.
Well, it was a really good response from him, because other times the actors are just like, oh, I don't condone his things. But
or you could be Scarlett Johansson and be like, actually, no, I will work with him again.
This is a Scarlett Johansson hate club.
I cannot believe Scarlett. This is in 2019. 2019, last year, when she was like, I think this was an interview because she was in Avengers that year and Jojo Rabbit, and like had a big, in Marriage Story, she had a big year last year, right?
Marriage Story.
So in 2019, and the Hollywood Reporter, you can still look it up, it's still on the Hollywood Reporter website. So the interview asked her, how does she feel about Woody Allen? Johansson let the question hang for a moment. Ever since the Me Too movement, and then Dylan Farrow came out again, and they were like, her claims were re-examined. She basically said this after like having the question hang. Mind you, the interview pointedly said that. She had a beat to think. She said, I love Woody. I believe him, and I would work with him anytime. What? And in the same article, she continues to talk about how she's a Democrat and she's super like liberal, and she
okay.
like
okay. It's just, I mean, the crazy thing is like another woman really just like discrediting another woman is just kind of, I don't know, it's just disgusting. Like, how can you listen, especially to someone that was so young when this is all happening to her? And like Scarlett Johansson's a mother too.
Yep.
Like, can you imagine like someone ever laying hands on your child and how you would feel? And here she is saying, I believe Woody. It's like, no. Like,
yeah, she full on whole ass said, I believe Woody.
Yeah. She didn't even try to be like, well, let me cover it for PR. Yeah. She fully said with her whole chest.
And mind you, Scarlett Johansson is not the only one that's still.
Oh yeah, a lot of people.
There's a whole list. You can look it up. So I think in comparison, Timothée Chalamet and Scarlett Johansson, like Timothy did like the best that he could have done with that, I guess. Which, like, honestly, good for him. Timothée Chalamet is
a king.
Yeah.
Our skinny legend. We love him.
Like, all the teen gals can sleep well at night knowing Timothée Chalamet is like,
Did he? No.
Did he what?
Are
you talking about the NYU?
Yeah, the
NYU.
Was that real?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
but honestly, it's just two.
What are you gonna say?
It's just 2 pills. It's just 2 pills.
I think it's just funny.
And it's Timothée Chalamet. It's just 2 pills.
Yeah. I think everybody was just kind of using it more as a joke, like it's just an open secret.
That's why I was like, I don't know if it was true or not.
At least it was like, I guess it was consensual.
Yeah. Well, like she said, it's just 2 pills. I guess.
It's just 2
pills. At least it was like a curable STD, I guess.
Yeah.
That was bad.
Next topic, please.
Anyways,
moving on.
So fuck Woody Allen as well.
Yeah.
I think
this is a Woody Allen hate club.
Yeah. So like he's been.
Oh yeah.
Woody Allen has been quote unquote canceled multiple times over the years. Multiple times, and now I think it's just like, I think he's just gone from the industry, which like fucking finally, like it's about time.
I mean, yeah, I think it's just also like it goes back to like the generational shift. Like our generation won't put up with this kind of behavior, and I feel like a lot of older people are like-minded to him, where they're just kind of like, but that's a part of Hollywood. It's like, no, it doesn't have to be. Like just because it's been a part of it doesn't mean that can't change.
Exactly. Yes. And I think that's like a whole big thing that we're starting to see, like especially the entertainment industry shift towards is like, fuck that tradition. Yeah. That's a weird ass tradition to have in the first place. Yeah. And I think now we're keeping people accountable, and I can't wait so like more people are near our age are in positions of power in Hollywood, and we can actually keep people accountable, and like no shit going through, like fuck that. As soon as you are outed for that, fuck you, you're blacklisted from the industry. And the fact that like a lot of the times the women that come out are the ones that are blacklisted from Hollywood. That part pisses me the fuck off. Like what? It's just like you're also upholding like these awful like standards in society that like you have to believe men, and because men are in the positions of power and whatever the fuck. Absolutely not. I don't care how much money you make. I don't care if you make the best movie ever. Fuck you. You don't deserve
I literally
to work
like
anymore.
if you make a favorite movie and I find out that you did that, suddenly it's not my favorite movie. I do not care.
There's so many more movies. There's so many more talented actors
Yeah.
and directors and producers that are unproblematic that you can stand.
Yeah.
I promise you that. Like you can have that happy memory in your little memory box
Sweet
in
little
your
brain.
head, in your sweet little brain, your sweet little head. You can have that memory, but just let it go. Which leads me to my personal like
Where's this going?
James Franco.
I know. I'm like,
I used to be obsessed with James Franco. Do you not remember that?
I do. That was a weird face.
I used to.
Why?
I just thought he was great.
He always grossed me out. Sorry.
Okay, don't shame me. I don't like.
Oh, not you. I was shaming James Franco.
Okay, I was like, okay, easy.
I just knew he smelled bad. Sorry.
All right. Anyways,
well, before these things came out, I was just like,
I just liked him because he was like the first like actor. Like it was like when I was first getting into film. Like I was like, oh my god, I love Palo Alto. Like
oh my god. Well,
I was like
he's
super
just like
into that.
He's just like a hot indie white boy. Like on the outside, you're like, wow, he has the smile lines. Like he's harmless. Like he's charming. Like, but obviously, it's like he's someone that, of course, the fame like got to his head.
Yeah,
I actually
100%.
don't know what he did. If you would like to,
God, so many things. He did so many things. Basically, he abused his power, which everybody does. Everybody that's on this list has abused their power. He had been a professor at a bunch of different types of places. Like he had his own school actually for actors and stuff. And he basically just made a lot of women feel uncomfortable, like in classes, like, and he would throw fits if women didn't want to like be topless, and like he removed like their plastic guards when they were doing like sex scenes and stuff. You can read there's like a whole article detailing all of the horrible things that James Franco did to these women. And I think the craziest part to me is like this allegation came out in the middle of awards season, when he was the Disaster Artist, and he was like up for Best Actor and stuff, and I think he did get Best Actor. He won a couple times, and it was the reason why these allegations came out is because it was in the middle of Time's Up movement, and he came to an award show, I forget which one, but he had a Time's Up pin on. And then these, I think two girls, I don't know what their pronouns are. These two people came out and they were saying, oh, funny that you're wearing that Time's Up pin. Remember when you did this?
Wait, they said it to his face?
No, they tweeted it.
Okay.
They tweeted it. They're like, remember a couple weeks ago when you threw a fit that someone wasn't, like, I didn't want to suck your dick or something. I don't remember exactly what it was. You can look it up on LA Times. Well,
it was 5 different women, so.
Yeah, there's 5 different women. So there's a lot. And I just think that's so off. That's even more awful. Like, you're gonna sit there and pretend like you're fucking golden because you slap a pin on your fucking tuxedo. Fuck you. Oh, it pisses me off so much. And so that came out after that award show, and then there was another award show like a couple of days later. He won for Best Actor, but he didn't go because obviously, like, how the fuck are you gonna show your face after that? And he's just kind of faded into oblivion now. I don't think he's ever addressed it.
No, he never will.
He never addressed it, and he never will.
I'm sure he'll make another movie in 5 years, which is.
I think one of the things that I read said that he did, but it was just kind of like, I'm sorry if you. It's like one of those, I'm sorry if you felt that I did that kind of thing.
Oh god, I fucking hate him right now. I hate him so much now. Like how it was like that TikTok audio is like, you dumb bitch, I love you. That's how I felt when that came out. I was literally heartbroken for a really long time. And
that article is so long.
No, it is. There's a lot of info. Okay, yeah, this is one of the tweets. Hey, James Franco, nice times up pin at the Golden Globes. Remember a few weeks ago when you told me the full nudity you had me do in 2 of your movies for $100 a day wasn't exploitive because I signed a contract to do that? Times up on that. Yeah, not good. God. And then the other tweet is, cute times up pin, James Franco. Remember the time you pushed my head down in a car towards your exposed penis, and the other time you told my friend to come to your hotel when she was 17 after you had already been caught doing that to a different 17-year-old. Oh my God, this unlocked a memory. So like the first thing was, before all of this came out, I remember, because I don't know, James Franco also, I don't know why I like this man so much. I think it's just because he was a white indeed man. And I think that's the main thing. Yeah. And I remember his Instagram was very odd. He would post the weirdest things. Like he very much that I think that's another reason. Like it's like, oh, he's an artist. Like he's misunderstood. Yeah. Like nobody gets him. Like he's just a crazy creative mind, like type of thing. Like brooding type of actor. Bullshit. It's bullshit. And he got caught. He literally got caught. He did a lot of plays, right? And people would wait outside of plays and Broadway shows to meet actors after the show, and he literally got caught asking this girl. He was like flirting with her, and he was like, oh, how old are you? And she said 17, and he still was like, okay, so should I book a hotel room for tonight? And he literally got caught saying that. He literally got interviewed on a late night television show, and I think it was like one of the Jimmys asked him.
Stephen Colbert.
No, that's a different one.
That's the Time's Up thing.
That's a different one. It was one of the Jimmys, I'm pretty sure. And they basically like, so like, what was that? And he was like, I messed up and I got caught, and that's it. That's what he said. He's like, I messed up, I got caught, won't do it again. Completely brushed it off. And they just let him. We all just let him. I remember seeing that on the internet. Like I remember, and I was like, that's a little weird. But I think I was like 7. I was thinking I was 17 or 16 at the time. So I was like, so that means I have a chance with James Franco, my fucked up mind.
Oh my God.
Disgusting.
Well,
right?
I think what's scary is that all these like little talk shows are rehearsed. So the Jimmy, whichever one it was, they know what they're gonna ask.
Oh yeah.
They know it's gonna be brought up.
Yeah.
So they were like, yeah, sure, let's ask him this and let him. Like they didn't just drop that bomb on him. Like he knew that was coming, and that was the response he wanted to.
Yeah.
Release.
Yeah. But that's the thing. Everyone, I feel like. People that do problematic things, they're like, oh, it was a mistake. And then people are like, yeah, word. Like,
all right, don't do it again, bro. We're watching ya. Don't do it again. Wow. Don't do that shit.
Dude, but it's like, I think it's just so crazy because it's like in this situation, she clearly was like, yeah, I'm 17. And he was like, all right, what's up? Like, cool. Yeah. Like,
he's like, okay, so hotel, 9 p.m.?
See, it would have been a mistake if he didn't know how old she was, and then in that moment was like, oh, I'm 17, and he was like, oh shit, okay, like got it, like noted, like I'll leave you alone. But instead he was like, your place or mine. Yeah. He literally was like, your place or mine. Like that's the thing. Like
so he just and I think also like the fact that he was a professor, and like I think in this LA Times article, some people are like, he was an all right professor. Like he was like, he definitely had other shit going on, but he was okay. He never did anything crazy to me. Like, and I think it's harder. I don't know. I think maybe in his head, he was fulfilling some fucking fantasy in his head.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. It was a whole power trip all over again, but it was a different kind.
Yeah. Because it's like, also we need to stop showing these like teacher-student relationships, like honestly.
Yes, please. I was literally just about to say it is such an over-romanticized trope. Like it's just disgusting.
It's so gross.
Yeah. Like Pretty Little Liars, we let them get away for so long. We're like Ezra and Arya are gold.
They end up together. They literally get married.
How fucked up is that? That is so fucked.
And then Riverdale even had that.
Yeah. Isn't there a Hulu show called
The Teacher?
Yeah. I haven't seen it, but I heard it's about like they're saying how it's bad, but that's not what I've seen so far.
Yeah, because
The
if
clips
you
that people are
show
posting.
people fucking hooking up and it being super sexual and you're using Boyfriend by Justin Bieber in the background, like,
Wait,
I mean,
stop, what?
I saw that on TikTok.
Yeah, I
like,
saw that too.
They were like,
No.
he kissed or something. They kissed or something, and then Boyfriend
It's
by
like,
Justin Bieber starts.
oh, wait,
It's like, ding, like
Yeah.
the beginning.
Who
I have to
agreed to
watch
that
it.
from Justin's team? Because I got a few questions for them.
Yeah, I don't know what.
No,
I guess like I've heard that the soundtrack to that show is just like
ridiculous.
Because I guess it's supposed to be set in like 2012, whenever.
Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know.
That's why the
then
songs
I
are
guess that
weird.
makes a little. Well, no, it's still weird, but
Yeah, I have to watch it before I have a full opinion.
me too.
But the fact that people are just putting up the sexual things on the internet just
shows what people are taking away from it.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my God, I have like a permanent. I was gonna say I have like a permanent stank face right now. Like throughout this whole conversation, I just like looked up and realized I've been sitting here like this whole time, like trying to like uncomfortably like smile, but at the same time, this topic is just so cringe because
it's so cringe.
these people are, it's just one of those things that like, especially like our generation, it's so common sense to be like, ew, gross, that's wrong.
Mm-hmm.
But then I don't know, it's weird that we even have to be like, hey, that's wrong. Everyone should just know it's wrong, you know?
It's weird that we're sitting here being like, stop giving these people jobs.
Honestly, the film and television, like anything that gets put up or like released, like it gives you such a fucked up sense of reality because they can only fit so much in 30 to 50 minutes. You know what I mean? And there's so much left on the editing floor as well. They could make a whole different type of narrative if they really wanted to. They could even go back for reshoots. But I just think it's always interesting to me how I think that just comes like being like a film major. About like you literally.
Oh wow.
She's a film major. Okay. I feel like, but it's true though. You literally take theory classes where you have it reprograms your brain. I can't watch anything in peace anymore.
My mom was like, you know how they do those talk shows where it's like they talk about what it was about after, like the Talking Dead or whatever. My mom was like, they overthink it. I was like, Mom, that's what I'm going to school for.
Literally. That's the thing. That's like, but that's what I was about to say. Like the general population doesn't understand there's thought behind it. Like no shade because it's like if you don't really think about it, then like why are you gonna care about it? I guess that's why people don't take fucking COVID seriously. Anyways.
So bad.
Anyways,
there it is.
I was getting to anti-maskers in this episode.
We're living. Anyways. What was I on about?
To wrap this section of the podcast up.
No, we still have to talk about Harvey.
Well, there's so much, but he's in jail, and I think that's what matters.
Jail.
He went to prison. Jail.
He'll probably pass away in jail too.
Woo! No, I think hopefully
that's kind of wrong to clap, but no.
No, I think it's fine.
As long as he doesn't get the death penalty, I just think he should just rot in prison.
I don't know. He's in prison. Like he's prison for life.
I just hope he. But like, but still, like he's so rich. He's in the nicest prison ever.
Oh yeah.
So he's still gonna be fine.
Well, Harvey's getting old and ill. Like he keeps asking to be released because he's getting really sick and frail. But like,
I heard he got COVID in jail. I don't know if that's true.
Karma.
Exactly.
I mean, Tiger King got COVID in jail too.
Yeah.
Tiger King?
Yeah, he got COVID.
What?
He does like secret vlogs from prison. I don't really know how they're doing that. I saw a clip of him talking about it.
Honestly, cell phones in prison are a thing, and I love the TikToks.
I love jail TikTok.
If someone in prison sees this podcast, please drop more. Please.
They like listen to our podcast in prison.
They listen to Megan Thee Stallion.
Okay.
Yeah. Good for them.
Good.
Anyways, yeah.
Unless they did something really bad.
I think wrapping up this section is like there's this like genuine abuse of power.
Yes.
And there's nobody checking them, and I think looking forward to the future, I think we're moving towards checking people and actually believing survivors. And of course, there's going to be like missteps along the way. Woody Allen, Harvey Weinstein, literally everybody on this list.
We could go on.
We could go on and on. We could literally sit here for hours just listing off people. But I think there are power in numbers, and I think it is scary, like trying to call out somebody, especially when they have power over you, or if they're like more famous than you or whatever, but you know, they need to be called out and they need to be held accountable for their actions. And it just makes me mad. Fuck these men.
Yeah, exactly.
These men.
Moving on to our second little subsection of this, we want to talk about a couple other celebrities that I guess quote unquote were canceled during 2020. But I think another part of like another aspect of this whole thing is that these people deserve to be quote unquote canceled. I don't know. I think a lot of people are like, "Oh, stop cancel culture," but I'm like, does this even count as cancel culture? These people are just being horrible.
No, I don't think this should count as cancel culture. I think the notion of cancel culture is bad, but these people just need to stop. Like, we need to just stop supporting them. We need to like stop giving them the platform. And I think that's what cancel culture should be.
I think most of the times it is, but some people take it differently.
Some people.
Well, Twitter takes it.
Twitter, TikTok, social media in general, like molds it into a different thing.
Well, I don't think the majority of it is that. I feel like the majority of it is actually.
You're on.
I mean, I feel like when it starts like becoming like doxing, when people are releasing addresses and like personal information, that's one thing. But I think cancel culture, like, I think it's productive in the sense that you are deplatformizing, if that's a word, deplatformizing.
It is now. Yeah,
it is now. I've claimed it. People that deserve it, essentially. But I think that like it's hard because sometimes like it's cancel culture is difficult and it's a tricky thing because to one degree you want the person to learn. Mm-hmm. But by canceling someone so intensely, like I feel like they don't learn shit.
Absolutely.
Yes, exactly.
Because then they're on the defensive.
That's like my issue with it is like they're actually not going to grow from it at all. Like just on like us, like just on small levels, like James Charles getting canceled every fucking week, Trisha Paytas getting canceled every week, Charlie and Dixie, whatever the fuck, like they get canceled every other week, but then like they just like stay silent for a couple weeks and then it's like, okay, welcome back with open arms. What growth did you actually do?
Yeah.
What reflection did you actually take? I highly doubt that because they're still making shit tons of money. I don't think they're actually taking the time to learn because it's like I think it's the first time somebody gets quote unquote canceled is scary, but when they rise from the ashes or whatever the fuck you want to call it, and then they're like, oh, everything's fine. So it just feeds into like this power trip that we've been talking about, like just perpetuating that people can actually get away with it.
I think that
I don't know how to handle it. Like, how do you actually make sure somebody's growing as a person?
I think the term canceled is just way too broad.
Yes.
The two people we're talking about, it's not even more canceled. It's more like they actually suck and we don't want to support them anymore. Whether you want to call that canceling or whatever it is. So the first person is
to stop giving them attention.
Yes. Because they will they know now that this is what gets them. Okay, well, let me get into it. Okay, so J.K. Rowling, this was the worst thing well, okay, that's a little drastic, but
I feel like if you grew up with Harry Potter, it's earth-shattering.
This literally ruined okay, so for people who don't know, which I feel like the general public knows about this now, but so it started when J.K. Rowling, there was an article, and it used the phrase "people who menstruate," or did I say that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Menstruate.
For some the way it was spelled, I was like, okay. And then she like posted the article on Twitter, and her tweet was, she said, "People who menstruate, you mean women?" Which like now we know that like people who menstruate does not just mean women.
Yeah.
Because that is like trans exclusionary. So okay. Anyway, people called J.K. Rowling out on it. And instead of being like, oh my God, yeah, no. She went on a rampage. She literally just continued to spew this like transphobic rhetoric. She continued to literally, she's out of control. And not only that, but she released a new book. Let me just tell you what this book is about. The villain or the antagonist of the book is a male who cross-dresses, is I think that's a term that they use in the book. And he dresses up as a woman essentially to kill other women. Oh my God.
Lord. I didn't know about that.
Yeah, people were like, you were dumb. Like, J.K. Rowling, you were dumb. And she will not apologize for it because this is truly what she believes. She made merch about it. There's merch. You can find merch on Etsy it's a whole thing. Literally every single, well, most of the Harry Potter cast members were like, no, we do not agree with her.
Yeah.
Like the main three. When the three main actors from The Reason That You Are Rich come out and are like, no, we...
The reason you're rich.
Well, sorry, but it's true. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of the Harry Potter fame came from the movies. That's
I wouldn't know.
Oh, I was such a Harry Potter. And here's the thing. Okay, this is another thing that I wanted to slightly mention is, I think like separating art from the person who made it.
Art from the artist.
Yes, that's what I wrote. Me writing that and forgetting to use it.
Yeah.
I think you can't at some points because
to a certain degree you can't.
Like for example, like
It's
Chris
true.
Brown, that's Chris Brown's music.
Yeah.
And listening to it, you are listening to an abuser. And
Yeah.
that is just something that if that's on your conscience, go ahead. But you know, but then again, I think this is not George Lucas didn't do anything. But for example, The Mandalorian, George Lucas has basically nothing to do with that. But they took the world and the characters that he created and they made their own thing and it is thriving. And I think if we just stop letting J.K. Rowling, because she barely owns these things anymore. So I feel like if we continued like reclaiming the wizarding world, I guess, and let other
that's a good point.
other creators, other writers, other actors create content for this, which is going to be fresh and original because Fantastic Beasts is not working. That's true. But if we let them use these characters in this world, I think it can turn something so horrible from what she's turned it into and make it more positive for all these communities. Because Harry Potter was very important for LGBTQ people because like Harry literally, he escapes from the closet. That's literally where he comes from. Like, and he like literally joins this world of like magic and all these things. But when you look closer at it, there's a lot of horrible metaphors that J.K. Rowling has in the books. Like the werewolf is supposed to represent like AIDS. And they gave
Oh my god, what?
Yeah, so the character in the book, I don't know how much it translates into the movie, but he's like a metaphor for like gay men and like the HIV/AIDS epidemic. And
oh my gosh.
like the werewolf bite and like preying on children. Like she literally is horrible. So you can't even look back at that content anymore and enjoy it that much because like you look at it as an adult and you're like her like hatred and
there's another film that did that, like basically, well, there's an author that's like they're gone, they're dead, they're not even like a part of this earth remotely, and I guess they were like really transphobic. I don't remember exactly what it was. They're like super transphobic, but like these people that like directed and produced a film completely reclaimed it and like made, because I guess they were like homophobic.
I know what you're talking about, but right? I can't.
Yeah, right, and then that happened.
It was like a fantasy.
It was a fantasy something. It
wasn't Lord of the Rings. Me only thinking of Harry Potter and Lord of the Rings. I don't know what else
if you know, you know. If you don't, I guess you can Google it. But yeah, basically they made like characters gay, and it's kind of like a fuck you to whoever.
Oh, wait, are you talking about Lovecraft Country?
Oh, yes, that's exactly what I'm talking about.
Okay, so H.P. Lovecraft was horrible, literally awful, so racist. He was basically a Nazi, and they remade the new show, Lovecraft Country, full like an all-black cast, phenomenal cast, and they took his content, his stories. I don't know how I forgot about that, and they made a great show that is.
That's where I learned it from. I learned it from this podcast.
Yeah, so I think that's just those two examples are.
Yeah. And I think that's a way you can reclaim it.
Exactly. Which I think we like at this point, Harry Potter is bigger than her.
Oh, yeah.
It is no longer hers because the world it's part of the world.
It's become like such a fan culture thing. 100%.
Yeah. This whole thing is just about fan culture, essentially.
I mean, it is because fans kind of dominate if like it's okay or not for these people to like continue progressing. Essentially, like that's why I think deplatforming these people and just honestly, just if somebody does something shitty, pretend like they don't exist.
Yeah.
I think that's what cancel culture should be. It's like pretend like they don't exist.
Just ignore them.
So ignore them. So they're like, oh well, fuck, I can't come back. So actually, I should probably think about my actions and probably do something to better myself as a fucking human. And then like once they've shown that they've grown, they can do whatever they want to show that they've improved. And the fans or whatever, the internet or whatever they're trying to appeal to can decide. Like that's how it should be. Just like stop like entertaining these things because if they're making any sort of money, if they're being accepted into whatever sector of entertainment that they're in, and they can like see a way out and like get away with it, then they're not going to grow.
No, it's like we can't cancel Caitlyn Bennett if people keep retweeting her videos
Yes.
and being
Oh
like,
my
I
God.
hate this girl. Yeah, we all hate this girl.
Yeah.
Stop giving her attention.
Exactly.
Because she's going to keep doing it.
If you're feeding into their ego.
She's literally doing it to piss people off. And yeah.
Did you guys even know that J.K. Rowling signed this public, it was like a public article or petition or essay or something that was saying, let's cancel culture. And she was one of the signers on it.
Lord have mercy. It's always the shittiest people that sign that stuff, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, like I think people fear cancel culture more than actually taking, like, people fear sorry, that's like a lot to talk. People fear cancel culture so much that they just like refuse to acknowledge their actions. And that's what it goes back to, is like J.K. Rowling is just so like, these people are all crazy, but it's like she doesn't see the error in her ways because she's so set on the fact that this is just the toxicity of the internet, toxicity of like our generation. But it's like, no, we're asking you to take accountability. We're not being these horrible people. It's like,
like, sorry, your views are dated, bitch. Like, fucking talk to an actual trans person and like see their point of view and see like it's just ignorance at like it's just plain ignorance.
I'm like remembering more and more about the J.K. Rowling thing as we're sitting here. She also posted on her website, because she didn't specifically address what she said about being transphobic, but she the book dropped, and then she chose the time when a lot of people were getting angry with her to really reveal the fact that she's been raped on her website.
Oh, right. I forgot about that.
So it's kind of like, it's just another person shifting the narrative away from what they've actually done rather than taking accountability for it. And like, while that is like, of course, really tragic and unfortunate, it's like, you can't really just be like, blame
I think the reason they do that,
person.
Exactly.
I think the reason they do that, they're like, well, like, I'm a hurt person. See, I've gone through shit. Like, that's why I'm a shitty person. No.
We all have.
No, babe. Like, you're not taking accountability at all. Anyways.
Yeah. Well, wait, really quickly. I found the merch that she retweeted. I want to tell you about this. So it's essentially like an Etsy shop, I guess. And so she posted like, sometimes a t-shirt just speaks to you. So the shirt says, this witch doesn't burn, which like, okay, sure. A little cheesy, but sure. But when you go look at the shop, there's one, I don't even want to say these out loud because they're so bad, and I don't want this audio of me saying these things on the internet, but they're all awful. They're like anti-pronoun stuff. It's transphobic stuff.
Oh no.
She knew what she was doing. Yeah. She like,
that's disgusting. And I think shifting to the last thing that we're going to talk about, which is in the same vein, because isn't Johnny Depp's character in Fantastic Beasts like, aren't they like gay? What?
Yeah, oh God. Well, okay. Yeah, we're sticking to the Harry Potter theme.
Yeah.
But so essentially,
I thought that was the easiest way to transition.
It is, yeah, Harry Potter. So she started making these like spin-off movies called The Fantastic Beasts, and is essentially prequels to the Harry Potter series. And one of the main things that she said when she was like, I don't know, she just puts things on Twitter and just is like, okay, that's new. So on Twitter one time she said, oh, by the way, Dumbledore was gay the whole time, which is not really in the books. I guess if you look close enough, there are some things that I don't know. She should, if she wanted to make him gay in the book, she could have made him blatantly gay.
Like blatant, yeah.
Yeah. And so she was like, and he had a romance with Grindelwald, which was this like the Voldemort of the back then, essentially. And in the movie, the first one, I think Colin Farrell plays him, but he was like transformed. And just kidding, it was Johnny Depp. But now they recasted him again because of this whole thing.
Yeah.
If you like, I don't even know where to start.
Well, the Johnny Depp Amber Heard situation, which I feel like has been going on for years.
It really has.
So basically, and I think this is what makes it hard, because it makes people. This is one thing that makes people not believe survivors.
Amber Heard.
So Amber Heard comes out and she like, because I think like they got announced that they were getting divorced or something, and then she was like, "Yeah, I've been abused by Johnny Depp, and that's why I'm getting divorced." And basically, like in their dispositions, is that what it's called?
I think so.
In their legal hearings, I don't know the terminology.
I'm
a film major, guys. Okay? And basically, it gets released on Twitter and stuff, and like just the way that she's handling it, it becomes obvious to everyone else, I guess, besides like the actual people doing the case, that Amber Heard is also not as innocent as she leads on, because she is also abusive towards Johnny Depp as well. They're both toxic for each other.
Oh, absolutely.
They're both definitely fucking abuse each other.
Horrible relationship.
Yeah, incredibly toxic. But I guess like the recent thing that I saw on Twitter was like a recording of a conversation that they had, and Johnny Depp is like, well, you fucking hit me. You hit me first.
That
like,
audio is genuinely scary.
Yeah, you fucking hit me. And then she was like, she was like, yeah, I hit you.
She's like, you're a baby, Johnny.
Yeah, you're
it's
a baby.
So scary.
She's like, you're a little pussy. Like, basically.
She's literally attacking him.
And then while they're playing the audio, Amber Heard is shown like smirking.
And you can look at audio interviews.
We'll never know the actual truth.
No, absolutely. Yeah. Well, you can watch the video interviews where she's like making little comments and he like flinches when she does stuff, which is so scary. But I think the reason this was huge was because this Amber Heard, like the I almost said the twist, the turn, like I guess when we found out that Amber Heard was also doing things, was like 2 years later. So Johnny Depp for 2 years, he lost the Pirates of the Caribbean character. He lost he wasn't getting roles essentially, and everyone was like, "We hate Johnny Depp." And then all this Amber Heard
that one was hard too, because I really like Johnny Depp.
All this Amber Heard stuff came out all of a sudden, like all at once, and we were like,
how do you come back from that? You know what I mean? Like she absolutely knew what she was doing. She absolutely she abused like this amazing, powerful movement to fucking get revenge on. Honestly, they were both shitty in the relationship. So, like, they should both have accountability in that. But she basically abused, like, because, like, she came out with this, I think, in the same time, like, the Me Too movement was happening. And that's fucked. Like, Amber Heard, you're fucked up for doing that. Like, don't do that. And I think, she's harming so many other women that are
because now they're going to use this as an example.
Yeah, they're going to be like, see, not all survivors are telling the truth.
They're going to be like, well, what about Amber Heard? And but that's oh my God.
She's such a bitch. Fuck her. She's not a good actress. Fuck you, bitch. Oh.
Anyway, well, I think. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was just gonna say, I feel like with the Amber Heard Johnny Depp situation, it's so difficult to talk about because at the end of the day, it's like we don't really know what happens behind closed doors, and I think there's really crazy evidence on both sides that both of them did pretty horrible things, and like. I mean, going back to what we were talking about earlier, it's like it all started with The Sun publishing why they're getting divorced or something, and then it was like this whole, as of recently, like the libel lawsuit against The Sun, accusing them of like lying that he's like a wife beater, but he lost it because they found evidence that he was one, and it just it's one of those things that is just it's so messy, and it's like. I don't know. I think it's crazy because it's weird seeing Twitter get in like this kind of like discourse about like, well, fuck Amber Heard, but it's also fuck Johnny Depp. Sides.
No, literally.
People literally.
That's what I was about to say. I was like, because I saw like people posting the video of Amber Heard and being like, yeah, fuck you, Amber Heard, you destroyed Johnny Depp's career. And I was like, well, honestly, like they both were shitty.
Let's just
let's
let them figure that out and find new actors in the meantime.
Yeah, like Johnny Depp has been proven to not be like the greatest person. Like if you read like this, I read this long-winded Rolling Stone article where this guy spent like the whole day with Johnny Depp, essentially, this interviewer, and like it's just like like he just didn't seem like the most warm, kind person. Very much like a real life vampire type of situation. It was really odd. Like you should read the article. It's like, or skim it at least. It's so fucking long. But like it was just like really unsettling. I was like, this does not make me like Johnny Depp at all. Like
sorry.
What is
the fridge just started making scary noises.
I was like,
oh, it's the ice maker. It's the ice maker.
Oh.
That was scary. I was like
Johnny Depp.
No, I heard it. I was like
Willy Wonka comes crawling out of the corner.
Ew. Anyways, yeah. Nope. So I think it's harmful on both ends. Like Amber Heard, like hurting, like this believing survivors, basically like giving people like evidence, like not everybody's telling the truth, which is so fucked up. Yeah. But also Johnny Depp's not clear either.
I think the best solution here, let's recast whatever they're.
It's not the internet's decision. to
No.
say who's wrong and who's right.
Exactly. So that's what I think in terms of like movies and stuff. That's what I think that we have control. We don't have any control over their personal lives. That is literally none of our business. It's going to be out there.
Even though people think they do.
Yeah, we don't know what's going on. They need to figure that out on their own. I literally don't care anymore. Like please go figure that out where you're not affecting other people and like hurting literally entire movements by lying. So I think it's also interesting that he lost all his roles. But Amber Heard literally like came out with the smuggest statement where she was like, "No, I'm so excited to be in the new Aquaman." And I was like, right after Johnny Depp got recast in Fantastic Beasts. And but it's weird because it's also the same company. They're both Warner Brothers. I don't know what's going on over there. In conclusion,
I think one thing that I do have to say about this whole situation is like, I'd love to see the internet ride as hard for like actual survivors of sexual assaults in the way that they've been saying fuck Amber Heard because people lie. And I think that's like the craziest thing about like social media and also like social movements is just seeing what people have to say, especially when like specific situations have affected you personally, and like seeing people like, for example, like in particular in this situation, like when people say things like, but what about people that lie when they talk about sexual assault? If that's the only time you're going to be using your voice to speak up against sexual assault is just to discredit victims, you're not using your voice for good. And I think that we just need to keep talking and having these hard conversations and just I don't know, like people lie, but that's a very small percentage. And that's why that's why I do have such a difficult time like talking about the Amber Heard situation, because it's like no person would like, why, like what's the point of lying in this situation? There might be some ulterior motives when it comes to like fame, when it comes to just revenge, but it's like, I mean, speaking up against your abuser is not a revenge plot. It's you finally getting justice for something that's been, I don't know, hurting you. So that's just my 2 cents on it. But it's also just like I think that situation is just so messy and it's just too public. And that they both should just 100%. Take a hiatus forever. Or hiatus is like
they need
forever.
To take
forever.
They need to go on their lunch.
They need to go away. Like I think Johnny Depp is fine. Like he's got his back forever. Like
honestly, they're both fine if they're never in another movie again.
And that's another thing about these celebrities. Like they're all fine. They're all gonna be fine.
Yeah.
Like they're not getting hurt. Like Kevin Spacey, fine for the rest of his life. Because he still has he's financially sound. Because that's ultimately what all these people care about. And honestly, what majority of people care about is how much money they're making at the end of the day, which is so fucked up. Anyways, I could go on a tangent about that, but I won't. Basically, I guess like wrapping it up, like I think what we gathered from this is that there's no like set answer on like how to handle these situations.
I think it's literally in terms of us as audiences and as fans and as people who consume media. I think you just gotta know when and understand that these are real people and that they are not. You can't put all these people on the pedestal. Like it's so dangerous. Like we all love Harry Styles, I know, but we can't just I don't know why is that Harry Styles, because I feel like everyone loves Harry Styles, but I feel like you need to realize that these people are literally people. And that if at some point they come out that they did something wrong, you have to know that. Like
you're gonna be fine not supporting Ansel Elgort for the rest of your life. You're fine, but it's also shitty because like West Side Story, there's so many other people that are like
that girl
attached
who got
to it.
casted.
Exactly, the girl that got casted, she is brand new.
It's her first movie.
Her first movie ever, and like that sucks. And like I think I don't know. That's hard to do as well because you don't want to support Ansel Elgort, but you also have to think about like the rest of the people that were involved in that movie making. So it's hard, but you know what? I don't even know. There's nothing like I think also just when it comes to real people's lives, especially on the internet, you feel because you can say whatever you want whenever you want on the internet, you feel a lot of power behind that. And like, as you should to some extent, it's great. I mean, hold on. Now I forgot my fucking.
Sorry.
But like you do to a certain extent because you can literally say whatever, whatever. But like honestly, like, maybe just take a fucking step back and think about what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think a lot of people have that.
Well, I just think everyone wants to give their opinion.
Yeah. Guilty.
Us with a podcast.
Yeah. And that's okay. But also, like, when you're proven wrong, or like whenever, like, I'll always stand on the soapbox. Like, when you're proven wrong, like, it's okay to admit that fault and be like, yeah, I was fucking wrong. Now I learned something new, and I don't feel that way anymore. And I feel like a lot of people have have a hard time admitting that. So,
I think like I saw this on Instagram. It's of course one of those head ass like Instagram like infographic quotes or whatever, but I think that there's certain things that are forgivable and there's certain things that aren't. But the quote said something like accountability is the greatest form of love that you can give to someone. And I think in situations where, like you said, where people are wrong and then you can like easily correct them. Like, I think holding your friends accountable is the number one step of like, of course, just like, I don't know, no longer giving people the power to treat other people like shit. Like, call your own friends, your own circle out. And then, I mean, I think slowly but surely more people realize that, like, even if the people around you can be so shitty, it's like, what's, like, I don't know, less famous people will be shitty. I don't know how to explain it, but it's just like one of those things.
It makes sense.
Yeah. Gotta hold people accountable. If you truly love your friends, you'll hold them accountable.
Yeah. Normalize cutting people out of your lives, like really, when they
normalize holding people accountable. Also, sad. I don't even know.
I mean, yeah, there's.
I don't want to end it on a negative note,
but you can't. Like, it's just a shitty like reality of the situation. Yeah. Like it is, and like I think the fact that I think normalize having conversations like this with your friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like 100%. Like, it doesn't always have to be super lighthearted. And if you actually care about the growth of the people in your life, like, you'll have this conversation. Like, it's okay to say wrong things. I'm sure I've said wrong things.
Absolutely.
Everybody has.
Both of us, yeah.
All of us.
That made it sound like I was like, yeah, you have, but I meant like we've all said that.
It's okay. And like, I am more than willing to admit my faults and when I'm wrong about something. And I think like it's hard to do that. It's hard to, like, especially like with people's egos and stuff, but you know, I think that's just a part of growing as a person. And especially like at the age we're all at, like, this is the biggest time where we start to realize, like, okay, we're not as like fucking we're more vulnerable than we think. We're not as like smart as we think we are. Like, you have to get checked, and that's okay. And yeah, I guess that's the most positive note I could end it on.
Yeah.
So
it is a positive note, I guess.
We'll leave resources on our Instagram, and also it's hard to come out about sexual assault, and you are loved and you are heard, and you know what? I guess that's it. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. There are people who support you. In conclusion, like, if anyone's out there listening and they're like, Ceryna, like, it's gonna be okay. What?
I don't know. It's just such a cheesy thing to say.
I know, but like, that's literally like, I think it's important to be said, because like, yes, it sounds cheesy, but like,
and it's hard when you see like powerful people get away with that kind of shit.
Yeah,
it's hard. Yeah. Anyways,
thank you, Ceryna, for coming on and talking to us about all this. Where can people find you and any of your work? If you want to plug any of your social media.
Yeah. So I have a website. It is my first name and last name, CerynaBaens.com. I have a weird spelling of my name, so hopefully it's like in the description somewhere. Yeah,
it'll be on our Instagram and everything, so people can check it out on there too.
Yeah, but Instagram, also Ceryna Baens, and yeah, just, I mean, overall, just like to wrap up like my thoughts and everything. I mean, like you guys said, like it's a hard thing to come forward about things that have happened to you in your life, but just know that even if you never speak your truth, just know that there are people that have gone through what you've gone through, and that you're loved and you're believed. And I mean, karma's a bitch, and they'll get theirs. And I think that you should just stick around to I don't know, live your best life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There you go. Well said.
Yeah.
Because we were a little bit frazzled with our inspirational ending quote. So yeah, thank you everyone so much for listening. Did you want to plug that?
Oh yeah, I was just gonna put the National Sexual Assault telephone hotline. It's 800-656-4673, and it's open 24/7. And you can also live chat as well.
Yes.
And that's by Rain.
Yeah. So thank you everybody so much for listening. Buy your Christmas presents online. Stay safe because cases are rising. Yeah, just everyone stay safe is the most I can say at this point. All right. Thank you, everyone.